Forget everything you know about normal vehicles. What if I told you there are mechanical monsters on our highways capable of dragging the weight of an entire neighborhood? Today, we are exposing the 10 most gigantic, mind-blowing, and brutally powerful trucks ever built in human history. These are not just trucks, they are rolling earthquakes. We are talking about custom-built engineering mutants packing thousands of horsepower, specifically designed to haul million-pound megaloads across burning deserts and frozen mountains. You will not believe the terrifying scale of the absolute behemoth waiting for you at number 1. It officially holds a Guinness World Record. Watch this video until the very end and smash that subscribe button right now. Let's ride. Let us start our journey on the vast interstates of North America with an absolute legend, the Peterbilt 389. When you picture a classic, aggressive American big rig, this is the machine that instantly pops into your head. With its seemingly endless hood, massive dual exhaust stacks, and a gleaming chrome grille that looks like it could swallow a compact car whole, the 389 is the undisputed king of United States highway culture. Under that massive hood sits a powerhouse like the Cummins ISX-15, capable of churning out a highly impressive 600 horsepower. Imagine sitting behind the wheel of this American icon. You look out over that massive squared-off hood, feeling the deep rumble of the engine vibrating through the floorboards as you shift through the 18-speed transmission. You are not just driving a truck, you are commanding a rolling fortress on 18 wheels. The sheer road presence of the Peterbilt 389 demands instant respect on the highway. While it might not pull million-pound transformers, it hauls heavy, oversized freight across the steep grades of the Rocky Mountains with an unmatched classic swagger that no modern aerodynamic truck can ever replicate. It is a truck explicitly designed for the long haul, safely pulling massive 80,000-pound payloads from the East Coast to the West Coast, all while providing the driver with a highly customized, luxurious sleeper cab. It represents the ultimate American dream for independent owner-operators who want to ride in absolute style. But if you think this American highway icon is a massive machine, just wait until you see the flat-faced Australian Outback beast coming up next. It was purpose-built to pull not just one, but multiple heavy trailers at the exact same time across the burning desert. Welcome to the land down under, where trucks do not just pull one trailer, they pull 3 or 4 at once. Meet the Kenworth K200. In Australia, highway length laws are incredibly strict, which means if you want to haul a massive 85-foot B-double or B-triple road train, you simply cannot waste any space on a long traditional hood. The K200 cab-over solves this problem by putting a massive, highly spacious cabin right on top of a roaring Cummins X15 engine. This flat-nosed giant is explicitly designed to maximize legal payload while navigating the brutal, endless stretches of desert. Being an Outback driver in a K200 is an experience like absolutely no other. Imagine cruising at high highway speeds with over 200,000 pounds of solid weight pushing you from behind. The blistering heat outside reaches over 120 degrees Fahrenheit, easily enough to melt standard tires. But inside the K200, you are sitting securely in a highly advanced, heavily air-conditioned command center featuring a completely flat floor and a massive sleeper bed. The elevated driving position gives you a panoramic view of the desolate red dirt highway stretching infinitely into the horizon. Navigating this massive weight requires absolute focus as you manage the terrifying momentum of a highway train without any tracks. The K200 proves that you do not need a giant hood to command ultimate respect and massive pulling power in the world's most unforgiving environments. It is the ultimate heavy-duty cab-over. But cab-overs are definitely not the only kings ruling the Australian Outback. Wait until you hear the deafening roar and see the massive cooling grille of its traditional long-nosed brother coming up next, designed specifically to conquer the absolute worst conditions imaginable. If the cab-over is the sensible choice, the Kenworth T909 is the traditional undisputed heavyweight champion of Australian conventional trucks. This is a massive machine that literally laughs in the face of extreme heat and impossible payloads. Designed specifically for the harshest environments on the entire planet, The T909 features a massive heavy-duty cooling package hidden safely behind its iconic towering grille. This massive radiator setup ensures the giant engine absolutely never boils over, even when it is pulling 260,000-pound road trains across a completely barren desert where temperatures are brutally hot. Picture yourself behind the steering wheel of the T909, hauling massive livestock trailers or heavy mining equipment across 1,000 miles of brutal, unpaved dirt roads. The red dust outside is blinding, the road is violently corrugated like a washboard, and the sheer kinetic energy of the 4 heavy trailers closely following behind you is genuinely terrifying. Yet the truck feels incredibly planted and secure. The heavy-duty suspension perfectly absorbs the punishing terrain, and you can feel the raw, unfiltered torque of the roaring engine violently digging into the earth to maintain your forward momentum. You are pulling a total combined load that weighs as much as a fully grown blue whale right through the middle of absolute nowhere. The T909 stands as a towering monument to rugged reliability, proving that traditional engineering still dominates the extreme outback. But what happens when you need even more extreme horsepower for these massive outback road trains? The legendary Bulldog is patiently waiting for you in our very next segment, packing a world record-breaking bloodline and an earth-shattering engine that will leave you completely speechless as it pulls the heaviest loads imaginable. Enter the mighty Mack Superliner. Now, you might know the Mack brand from standard American highways, but the Australian spec Superliner is a completely different, highly aggressive monster. Underneath its bold, squared-off hood lies the massive 16-liter MP10 engine kicking out an earth-shattering 685 horsepower. This makes it one of the absolute most powerful conventional trucks in the entire world. It is a legendary truck built on a highly proven, unstoppable bloodline. It requires massive reinforced frame rails just to handle the twisting forces generated by its incredibly powerful, heavy-hauling engine block. In fact, its direct sibling, the Mack Titan, famously set an official Guinness World Record in 2006 by pulling a 112-trailer road train that stretched for nearly 1 full mile. The modern Superliner proudly carries that exact same unstoppable, heavy-hauling DNA. Imagine being the driver assigned to a Superliner on a heavy haulage route. You are strapped in tightly, staring down a seemingly endless ribbon of blistering asphalt. When you finally put your heavy foot down, the 685 horses violently roar to life instantly. The massive torque physically twists the heavy steel chassis. You feel the immense, crushing responsibility of controlling a vehicle that is essentially a rolling skyscraper laid flat on its side. One single wrong move, or one slightly missed gear shift, and the massive forward momentum could spell absolute disaster. It is a true, grueling test of both man and machine. As tough as the burning Australian Outback is, it honestly has absolutely nothing on the frozen, muddy, and highly dangerous mountains of Canada where our next nearly indestructible monster currently lives and works. Leave the burning desert completely behind and step into the freezing, treacherous, and highly dangerous logging roads of British Columbia, Canada. Here, the legendary Hayes HDX reigns supreme as an absolute titan. These incredibly massive trucks were never built for paved highways. They were custom-built to be completely indestructible, off-road logging beasts. Armed with massive solid steel bumpers, heavily reinforced double steel frames, and advanced water-cooled braking systems, the HDX is specifically designed to haul hundreds of thousands of pounds of massive raw timber down steep, unpaved mountainsides completely covered in slick mud and solid ice. The daily danger level for a dedicated Hayes HDX driver is completely off the charts. Imagine sitting high up in the cold utilitarian cab, looking down a terrifying 20% vertical grade. Directly behind you are massive tree logs the exact size of yellow school buses, violently pushing your truck toward the edge of a deadly cliff. You simply cannot just use your standard foot brake, or they will completely catch on fire in mere seconds due to the extreme friction. You must expertly manage the manual water spray system on the brakes to survive. While utilizing the water spray, you must simultaneously use the loud engine retarder, literally fighting the massive forces of gravity every single inch of the way down the treacherous mountain. It is highly terrifying, adrenaline-fueled, and incredibly dangerous work that only the bravest drivers can handle. But if you want to pull infinite weight across boiling sand deserts instead of frozen snowy mountains, you will definitely need the ultimate, heavily armored, extreme Outback Survivor coming up next, designed to go where absolutely no paved roads even exist, pulling weights that rival heavy military transport operations. When the required hauling job is simply too extreme for a standard heavy road train, Australian transport companies immediately call in the massive Kenworth C509. This vehicle is not just a heavy truck, it is essentially a heavy-duty rolling battering ram. Built with a significantly higher ground clearance, massive hub reduction drive axles, and a custom steel chassis that is thicker than a heavy bank vault, the C509 is the ultimate, uncompromising solution for extreme off-road heavy haulage. It completely ignores standard weight limits, operating far beyond the capabilities of any normal commercial highway vehicle. It is regularly tasked with pulling gross combination weights well over 400,000 pounds directly to remote mining sites where normal roads simply do not exist. Driving the C509 is exactly like piloting a heavy military tank across a battlefield. You are sitting incredibly high off the dirt ground, gripping the massive steering wheel tightly as the giant truck slowly crawls through deep desert sand and dangerous river crossings. You can physically feel every single heavy gear tooth grinding as the massive rear axles heavily multiply the engine torque to keep you moving. You are actively dragging heavy mining excavators that weigh significantly more than a fully loaded commercial airliner across the unforgiving dirt. It is a very slow, highly methodical, and absolutely brutal mechanical battle against the Earth itself. Australia definitely builds their trucks incredibly tough, but when Europeans need to carefully move entire industrial factories or massive power plants down tiny roads, they immediately call in hyper-technical, precision-heavy haulers like our next incredible contender, which uses advanced fluid dynamics to pull impossible weights without breaking a single sweat or destroying its transmission. Welcome to the highly precise world of European ultra-heavy haulage with the Mercedes-Benz Actros 4163 SLT. This massive four-axle European behemoth is an absolute technological marvel. While it might casually look like a standard European commercial cab-over, it is heavily engineered to pull a mind-boggling 500,000 pounds. How does it manage this? It uses a highly revolutionary turbo retarder clutch. This is a highly advanced fluid coupling system that allows the massive truck to start moving with 250,000 pounds attached to it without instantly burning out the traditional friction clutch. Imagine you are the highly trained driver of this SLT, tasked with carefully moving a massive 100-foot wind turbine blade directly through a tiny historic European village. The mental pressure is absolutely immense. You are not just casually driving, you are constantly calculating every inch. You gently feather the electronic throttle, and instead of a harsh, violent jolt, the advanced fluid clutch smoothly engages, seamlessly pulling a massive load that equals the total weight of 150 standard passenger cars. It requires ultimate precision and absolute nerves of steel to operate. You are slowly crawling at a mere walking pace of roughly 2 miles per hour, utilizing the truck's 625 horsepower and high-tech surround cameras to carefully squeeze through tight brick roundabouts with only mere inches to spare on each side. Pulling 500,000 pounds is genuinely mind-blowing, but what if you desperately need to pull that extreme weight directly up a frozen, highly slippery Scandinavian mountain? Enter the ultimate Swedish hammer coming up next, packing incredible power and extreme winter capabilities that defy logic. If you desperately need pure, unadulterated pulling power in freezing, highly dangerous winter conditions, you immediately turn to the Volvo FH16 750. For many consecutive years, this beautiful machine was the undisputed most powerful production truck in the entire world. Its massive 16-liter diesel engine effortlessly produces a terrifying 750 horsepower and an earth-shattering 2,600 pound-feet of raw torque. It is widely considered an absolute masterpiece of modern Swedish engineering, blending incredible hauling performance with industry-leading driver safety and ultimate premium comfort for long hauls. Equipped heavily with Volvo's incredibly famous I-Shift automated manual transmission featuring ultra-low crawler gears, Volvo officially proved this exact truck can start from a complete standstill on a steep mountain incline with a jaw-dropping 650,000 pounds loaded securely on its back. Sitting safely in the highly advanced cockpit of the FH16 750 is a strange blend of extreme luxury and sheer environmental terror. Imagine being completely stuck on a heavily snow-covered mountain pass in rural Norway with a massive electrical transformer sitting heavily on your trailer. The steep road is completely covered in solid, slippery ice. You calmly engage the ultra-low crawler gear, gently press the heavy accelerator pedal, and the massive 16-liter engine deeply growls. You can feel the heavy-duty tires violently bite into the solid ice. The massive steel chassis loudly flexes, and miraculously, the 750 horses smoothly drag the impossible weight straight up the freezing mountain. It is absolute engineering witchcraft. But wait until you hear the incredible roar of the ultimate V8 king coming right around the corner. Bow down gracefully to a true, undisputed legend of absolute highway power, the mighty Scania S770 V8. Scania took the entire heavy hauling world by an absolute storm when they confidently unleashed this beautiful monster, packing an unbelievable 770 horsepower directly from a massive 16.4-liter V8 engine. While Volvo recently pushed the extreme limits with a newer engine, the Scania S770 officially remains the absolute undisputed king of the legendary V8 engine configuration. It famously combines raw, earth-moving grunt with over 2,700 pound-feet of torque. It perfectly blends this extreme pulling capability with a highly premium luxury interior cabin that honestly feels significantly more like a high-end European sports car than a dirty, heavy hauler. When you excitedly turn the ignition key in the S770, the deep guttural sound of that legendary Scania V8 engine is easily enough to send cold shivers running rapidly down your spine. Imagine confidently rolling onto the steep highway, putting your heavy foot all the way down, and feeling the massive truck effortlessly and smoothly accelerate to top speed. It accelerates rapidly even with a massive 120,000-pound heavy load strapped securely behind you. The raw engine power is so incredibly immense that steep mountain hills honestly feel entirely flat. As the driver, you sit highly relaxed in a premium ventilated leather seat, happily listening to the loud turbo whistle and the deep V8 rumble, knowing very few machines on Earth can match you. 770 horsepower is an absolute titan, but let us finally meet the custom-built 1,000 horsepower world record mutant next. Completely forget absolutely everything you currently know about standard highway trucks. This is the unbelievable Nicholas Tractimus. Custom built by a highly specialized ultra-heavy haulage engineering company located in France, this colossal, towering machine officially holds the highly coveted Guinness World Record as the absolutely largest civil road-going tractor in the entire world. It physically looks much more like a massive diesel train locomotive that somehow escaped the railway tracks. Powered by a massive 27-liter Caterpillar V12 engine, it produces an earth-shaking, absolutely terrifying 1,000 continuous horsepower. This is a massive industrial engine usually found only in giant mining dump trucks, but here it is placed completely inside a road-legal vehicle. The mighty Tractomas was built for one specific extreme job, pulling impossible megaloads in South Africa and Australia that weigh up to an unbelievable 1 million pounds. Imagine being the brave operator of this mechanical Godzilla. The front hood is so incredibly massive and tall that you physically need high-definition camera systems just to see the tiny road located far below in front of you. When you aggressively throttle up, the 27-liter V12 engine loudly roars with the extreme deafening fury of a commercial jet engine, and the advanced 10-wheel drive system violently digs deeply into the heavy tarmac. You are not just pulling a simple commercial trailer, you are literally moving entire steel mountains across the desert landscape. It is the absolute ultimate expression of extreme human engineering, heavy industrial capability, and sheer brute force, and it stands completely alone as the ultimate undisputed king of all gigantic heavy-duty trucks ever built. And there you have it, the 10 most gigantic, powerful, and absolutely extreme trucks ever built in history. From the beautiful highway elegance of the Peterbilt to the world record-breaking, earth-shattering muscle of the Nicholas Tractomus, these unbelievable machines prove that when it comes to extreme heavy hauling, there is absolutely no limit to human engineering ingenuity. Which of these massive mechanical beasts would you personally want to test drive? Drop a comment below, make sure to hit that like button and heavily subscribe to our channel for more Extreme Machine.